on three.
Oh, don't kill yourself.
Hello! Thank you for coming. Thank you for being awesome. Oh my gosh. I have to do this just for a second so everyone in the back can mediate this experience through video, because otherwise it won't have happened. Oh my gosh. So the first thing I have to say while I'm still standing up on this chair precariously for a guy who slept for an hour and a half last night is this. I started my career as a professional novelist who signs people's books at Anderson's bookstore on March 6, 2005, at this very bookstore. I sat here, and all of these chairs were here. They were not full. You in the back, you were not here. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying. I'll tell you who is here. It was my boss from Booklist, heroically pretending not to be my boss. My wife, heroically pretending not to be my wife. And two people who I think...
A mother and daughter from Wheaton.
It was a mother and daughter from Wheaton who did not seem to have read my book. Nor did they seem particularly interested in it. And I read the part of Looking for Alaska where Pudge talks. It was the first time I'd ever read, you know, in public. And I read the part where Pudge talks about being the only thing worse than a party that no one attends is a party attended by two vastly, deeply uninterested people. And Sarah was like, quick tidbit, when we were in the car on the way home, and I was like silent because I wasn't feeling so great. I was like, quick tidbit. She was like, quick tidbit, don't read that part when no one's at your signing. So, like, lesson learned, you know, you move on as an author. But I bring that up not to elicit your pity, although it is welcome. But for this reason, it is to say what independent bookstores like Anderson's do for an author's career. Anderson stood by me. They had me sign 100 copies of Looking for Alaska, even though they sold none that night. And they sold those 100 copies of Looking for Alaska. I know because I went looking for them, and they're all gone. And so that kind of commitment is something that you don't get elsewhere. And if you like books, and you care about the book business, and you care about being able to read more than 30 books a year, because that's how many we would publish if we only sold to Walmart. If you care about that, that is why it's important to buy books at your local independent bookseller. And all of you are lucky, except for those of you who drove here from Michigan. But all of the rest of you are lucky because you have in your neighborhood one of the greatest independent bookstores in the country. And I'll tell you what, they have an amazing selection here. They have brilliant buyers who bring in the best books and often get them signed for you. But if they don't have something, they'll get it for you super, super quick. And I cannot thank Anderson's enough for having supported me since March 6, 2005, and still being here for me today, all these years later. This is just amazing. To be able to have this crowd here as a thank you for them for the time that they hosted me with 4 other people, so if we can all give Anderson's a round of applause. And buy your books here, not just my books, although especially my books. Okay. I'm now going to attempt to read from Paper Towns while standing atop a chair. This is fun. This is so much more fun than my previous signings, because in previous times I was on the ground and it was totally safe. Nothing was at stake. But I have, you know, I got a lot of time off tomorrow. Okay. This is fun. So, okay, I'm looking forward to taking your questions. Wow. I can't get over this. I mean, you have to imagine 4 people here, including my wife and my boss. And then multiply that 4. Okay. How many people in this room don't know that I have a video blog with my brother Hank? Oh, that'll make it worse, and it won't be nearly as fun. Are you worried about the lawsuit? I will sue you if I fall. I will sue all of you. I love you, you're a great bookstore, but I mean, yeah. No, I wouldn't. If I fall, it's my fault. I'll state it on the record now with the mic and everything, all these people running, so. No, I think I'll be okay. Okay, so, This is my new book, Paper Towns. Can you raise your hand if you don't know that I have a video blog with my brother?
Don't know. I know.
Two people? I apologize. I can't explain everything. Those of you who do know that I have a video blog with my brother have probably heard me read the prologue to this novel about 73 times in different iterations, because I read it once when I was working on the novel, and then I read it in its very different form when I had finished revising it, and then I read it several times in live shows. I'm a little fond of it. And then I also read it last night in Orlando, my hometown, where I was, and it was pretty amazing to be in Orlando with Orlando nerdfighters who can sort of map the world of Paper Towns better than anyone. I'm going to read, instead tonight, I'm going to read from the first chapter. I think all you need to know to have as background is that, let's see, what do you need to know? Margot is this larger-than-life creature in the life of Winter Park High School. She is responsible for every awesome thing that's ever happened at Winter Park High School, which admittedly, not that much. Her next-door neighbor and former friend when they were in elementary school, and now sort of anonymous acquaintance, is Q, Quentin Jacobson. Quentin is a band geek, but he's not in the band. And I know, band geeks. It's like preaching to the choir. Nerds. Ben is Q's best friend, and Ben is this kid who believes that the surest path to a woman's heart is to call her a honey bunny. And Radar is their other best friend, and he's this African-American guy who's a semi-professional editor of a website that is identical in every way to Wikipedia, except that it's called Omnictionary. And by the way, it's not called Omnictionary because I was worried about Wikipedia suing me. I mean, if anyone has less cause to sue anyone, it's Wikipedia. But I called it Omnictionary because it contains all the facts in the novel. Oh, I got a mic stand. Wow. This is so great up here. I feel like I'm the king of the world. I'm the tallest guy in the room. All right. Can you hear me?
No.
Danger. Hello. Because that would take away the adventure. They offered me one.
You can also stand on the table, which is nice and stable.
I asked for this moving chair because I like the risk. I think it adds an element to the performance because you're all a little nervous. It's like when you go to the circus and the guy's on the trapeze and you're like, oh my God, is he going to fall? Except I am totally unqualified to do this. That's the only